Hi, good evening. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Welcome to the December 9th, 2025 Development Review Commission hearing. The Development Review Commission is created to hold public meetings and hearings to provide analysis and recommendations to the City Council regarding general land use policies and applications where the Commission has recommendatory power, and to render final decisions on specified applications where the Commission has final decision-making power, including but not limited to all aspects of a proposed and future development. The Development Review Commission recognizes that the creation of a desirable environment throughout the city for residents, business, and industry is a prime requisite for the interdependence of land values, aesthetics, and good site planning by promoting harmonious, safe, attractive, and compatible development that is therefore considered to be the best interest of public health, safety, and general welfare. Any person aggrieved by a final decision of the Development Review Commission may file an appeal to the City Council within 14 calendar days after the Development Review Commission has rendered its decision. Development Review Commission recommendations to the City Council are not final decisions. This evening on the Commission, we have to my right, Commissioner Stefan Richter, Commissioner Larry Tom. I'm Vice Chair Michelle Schwartz. And then starting from my left, we have Commissioner Joe Forte, Commissioner Linda Spears, and alternate Commissioner Charles Redmond. Here from staff this evening, we have Jeff Tamilevich, Ryan Levesque, Michelle Dalkey, Karen Stovall, Chris Jasper, Lucas Jensen, Whitney Mayfield, Alex Bosworth, Warren Rivera, Joanna Berry, and Jason Wolf. This evening we do have public hearings, so for members of the public, you will be given up to 3 minutes to speak, and staff will assist in monitoring the time. Also, please note that the WebEx chat box is not monitored or moderated. If you are here to speak this evening, we just ask that you fill out one of these comment cards. They can be found at the front and the rear, and bring them up to Joanna here. During this meeting, if we are hearing a case, we'll ask that applicants present their case first, followed by staff, and then the public comment period. This evening, we've met to review the agenda, and we have a consent agenda prepared for this evening. The intent of the consent agenda is to approve all items on the consent agenda with a single motion. I will be reading our consent agenda, and if you have an item on the consent agenda you wish to hear, please make sure, again, you filled out that comment card and we can adjust our consent agenda before the vote. This evening on our consent agenda, the plan is to vote on items 3A, which is a one-story warehouse at I-10 and Wendler. Item 4A, which is a shade structure for the Kim property. Item 4B, which is butterfly massage. Item 4C, which is parking spaces for Fen Edition. Item 4E, agritainment for Starlight Memorial. Item 4F, the 6 Bird Cider live entertainment. Item 4G, a bar for Conquer Padel. Item 4H, which is Massage Aces. Item 4I, which is Indie Clover. And item 5A, which is a PAD modification for 250 Rio. All right. With that, we will start our agenda with the consideration of meeting minutes for October 28th and November 18th. Do I have a motion for the approval of those minutes?
I move for the approval of the minutes from October 28th and November 18th.
I second that motion.
All right, the meeting minutes are approved, motion by Commissioner Spears, seconded by Commissioner Redmond. All those in favor, please raise your hand. That passes, well, we're 6-0. No items, no one in abstention. All right. Moving on for our consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve our consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
All right. We have a motion from Commissioner Richter and a second from Commissioner Spears. All those in favor of the consent agenda? The consent agenda passes 6-0. All right. Moving on. That leaves one item for us to hear this evening. We are going to start by hearing item 4D, which is the JP Morgan Chase outdoor enhancements. I'd like to invite the applicant up to speak to the commission. Please state your name and city of residence for the record.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is David Wilson. I am an architect at Corgan, and I am a resident of City of Phoenix.
Anthony Padgett, JP Morgan Chase, resident of Chandler.
So what we will be sharing today is the existing JP Morgan Chase campus in Tempe, the Discovery campus off of Elliott, right by the 101 freeway. This is their existing campus here of 3 office buildings. What we're referencing 2104 East Elliott Road as the primary address of the campus. And the shaded area, which exists for current parking spaces that will be removed for outdoor amenity space. This space will be used for a various amount of functions, but primarily for outdoor dining space amongst some small work presentations. So zooming out in context, the campus is about a quarter mile from any nearby residential. What the proposed improvements are central to the campus. You have kind of existing buildings mitigating any kind of interference and noise that may get over to residents as well as the freeway. So really kind of centralize the proposed improvements here. We have some photographs of the existing campus, single-story office buildings, and some of the existing parking lots that we will be replacing with our improvements. Looking at the proposed site plan, the area is about 20,000 square feet. It's about 200 by 100 feet, and you can see the hardscape improvements, different landscape plantings. We are keeping existing traffic flow as functioning, and then adding a small performing stage, what is highlighted in yellow, that faces to the north. There is a canopy shade structure, about 16,000 square feet, that covers the space, provides shade so that the space can be used as much throughout the year as possible. Here's a couple 3D views of the shade structure. So it's a perforated metal. You can see the perimeter is buffered by landscape, protects the use and the employees, as well as helps mitigate some of the sound. We've got new landscaping throughout, hardscaping, and just various forms of seating configurations. Again, the kind of primary use time for this will be for lunchtime activity and having the 3 existing office buildings congregate when the weather's nice for outdoor amenity usage. So just some more views of this. You can see the stage here. We're facing to the south. We have a podium with a video wall backdrop. And then this would be the configuration for when JP Morgan has larger kind of a town hall function. And Tony will elaborate on that here in a second. So with that, again, primary use is about 300 to 400 employees using this space, with the types of entertainment being town hall gatherings, professional speakers, broadcast entertainment, and some miscellaneous music performances. Average sound will be 70 decibels and operate from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. with the primary duration for any amplified sound being from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and about 3 to 5 times a month that this would be used. And any event would be a maximum of 3 hours long. And there would be a sound check before any of the first amplified music event, as well as let's see here. The last one we've noted, just a return to decision-making body for review of compliance within 6 months once the campus is operational after construction's done. So with that, that's our presentation, and would love to hear any feedback and any questions you all have.
Does the commission have any questions for the applicant at this time? No. Okay, you can take a seat. We'll have the staff presentation, a public comment, and then allow you to come back and respond to any comments after all of those presentations.
Thank you
Good,
very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Karen Stovall, Senior Planner. So as the applicant explained, so I will try to be brief. This project is located at the northwest corner of the Loop 101 Freeway and Elliott Road. It is zoned GID. The property is also within the Discovery Business Campus Planned Area Development Overlay. The applicant is requesting use permit for permanent outdoor entertainment. The location of the entertainment is outlined in orange in the aerial photo on the right side of this slide. So they are proposing a new amenity area consisting of a stage and canopy that is over 16,000 square feet within the center of the campus. The company is requesting to have events that, as again they explained, include corporate events, employee meetings, and speaking engagements. The events may also include audio and visual presentations, broadcast entertainment, and live music. The attendees will include the employees who already work on the campus, but they have also explained that employees from off-site locations may also attend. Hours of operation for the outdoor entertainment are 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. with no amplified sound beyond 8 p.m. Again, the applicant already showed their seating plans. These have a total daily seating of 232, and for event seating, which is the plan on the right side of this slide, would be 628. The elevations are here. The stage that they have would be on the south side of the amenity area with a screen that faces north. And in reviewing the approval criteria for a use permit, the site is located at the intersection of the freeway and Arterial Street and is accessed by multiple driveways at the perimeter of the campus. Shutterfly Way, which is on the west side of the campus, does not provide vehicular access to the residential subdivision to the west. The existing access points and number of parking spaces should be adequate to accommodate any temporary increase in traffic due to the events held on the property. With the second criteria, the amenity area is situated in the middle of the existing buildings with open space and a surface parking lot to the north. As they showed on their map, it's over 1,200 feet away from the homes to the west and to the north. However, due to the possibility that sound may travel We have a condition of approval that no amplified sound should be used beyond 8 p.m., and the applicant has agreed to that. Number 3, the occupation of the amenity space should not be noticeable from properties beyond the perimeter of the business park, and noise generated by the events do have limited hours due to possible impact on the surrounding properties. The use is not expected to contribute to the downgrading of property values. Number 4, the amenity area is located in the middle of the campus and surrounded by the existing buildings that are also owned by JP Morgan Chase, and the design should complement the surrounding structures. And lastly, the events are intended to be attended by employees of the business. The company currently employs security staff for normal operations, and they'll also be present for any special events. A neighborhood meeting was not required for this request. Staff did receive 1 email and phone call with general questions about the project. Following completion of our staff report, we received an email expressing concerns about the project and requesting several other conditions be added to our recommendation, and we did add 3 conditions of approval. We are recommending approval. Those unique conditions involve restricting events to the hours of 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., amplified sound to 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., limiting amplified music for up to 3 hours, that a sound check be performed at the property lines of the 2 closest residential lots in the subdivision to the west and to the north to ensure that they comply with city code noise ordinance. Our code compliance division has agreed to go out with the business and do that sound check before the first event takes place, and then a 6-month review before the decision-making body. That 6 months would actually begin following the first event with amplified sound or music. So they would need to notify staff of that first event. We'd put it on our calendar and bring it back to you 6 months later for review. That is my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for staff?
I have one question. Does that review have to come back here, or is that something staff can handle?
So the review would be by the decision-making body. So if the decision is made by the commission and there's no appeal to city council, it would come back to the commission.
Can it not be handled at the staff level? I'm serious. I mean, if there's not an issue, I hate to have to come back to us.
Well, the purpose of that is to have a public hearing, have notification, have the site posted in case anyone does have concerns. They would be notified and they'd be able to come back and speak. So.
Yeah, Commissioner Tom?
The sound check, that's going to happen before every event?
No. So the sound check, they have agreed to have our code compliance division go out prior to the first event with amplified live music. So they might have, a presentation without any live music, but before the first event with music, because that was the primary concern that we received from the resident who communicated with us. It would be before that.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, we will open up for citizen input and comments. I do have 3 comment cards here. I'll call you up to the dais. Please again state your name and city of residence for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to provide us your comments. And the first up we have this evening is Lisa Zyrek. And after that, I will have Don Zyrek on, I don't know, what's the baseball term? On deck.
My name's Lisa Zyrek, and I live in the city of Tempe. My husband and I have lived in the Oasis development for 31 years. We are original homeowners. We are the 3rd house from the eastern edge of our subdivision. We were surprised to learn last week that JP Morgan Chase wanted to put in outdoor amplified sound, especially music, next to our neighborhood. This does not seem like an appropriate fit to be next door to a residential neighborhood. I'm concerned because of the level of noise that we are already experiencing from the 101 freeway. ADOT officials did not put in any type of noise abatement treatment for our neighborhood, assuming we wouldn't hear any freeway noise since we were about half a mile away. I can assure you, and so can any homeowner on the east side of the Oasis, that the freeway noise travels unabated to our homes. We are concerned that the amplified sound from the stage at JP Morgan Chase will do the same. While the stage at JP Morgan Chase has a building between the stage and our neighborhood, that is the only thing of any size blocking any sound waves from traveling to our development. Our lived experience from the existing freeway noise has shown that noise travels up, carries half a mile, and is much worse in the fall and winter. Given that JP Morgan Chase is even closer, we are concerned that their proposed amplified sound will carry just as easily and will be even louder. Again, I do not feel like amplified sound is an appropriate fit for this area. We appreciate staff and the applicant acknowledging our concerns with the proposed amplified sound and working with the neighborhood to develop additional conditions that will make the use permit more tolerable if it is approved. Thank you for your time and interest in protecting our neighborhood.
Thank you very much. We'll call Don Zyrek to the dais, followed by Gail Shu.
All right. Hi, I'm Don Zyrek, Lisa's husband, in case you wondered. And I'm also a resident of Tempe. Thank you first to the city staff and for JP Morgan for hearing our concerns and showing a willingness to work with the neighborhood residents. My comments will focus on sound in the user permit and a quick review of about sound and sound waves. So low frequency impulse sounds have particular characteristics. The sound waves attenuate, in other words, lose their energy less than other waves, so they naturally travel farther. These types of sound waves also penetrate barriers, walls, buildings, and other more than other sound waves. That's how foghorns are designed. Also, these waves are found in the popular music in the bass soundtrack that we hear out at events. Sound in general, and especially this low frequency sound, is difficult to predict and how it will behave. The environment, including weather conditions, structures, and walls, all have impact. Empirical data is needed to measure the sound impact at different locations and times. I personally enjoy taking data and would be happy to offer my help with any data collection that is planned. This is a data meter for sound. Final comments about decibels. You can't talk about sound without someone mentioning decibels, but what does it mean? A decibel scale works that it says an increase of 10 dB means that the sound has increased 10 times. Since Chase deals with money, I thought let's put it in monetary terms. So you have $10, you go to $100, that's 10 times bigger. You increased it $90. However, what happens if you start with $100,000? And that's what happens as the decibels increase. You have $100,000, 10x makes it $1 million. It's increased by 900,000. So final comment on the noise and our City of Tempe noise ordinance. The ordinance reads, it's unlawful for any person without justification to make or continue any unnecessary, excessive, or offensive noise which disturbs the peace or quiet of any neighborhood or which causes discomfort or annoyance to any reasonable person of normal sensitivities residing in the area. So in summary, I hope this brief introduction about sound behavior helps you understand our concerns. I look forward to working with the applicant or designee on any data collection that they're proposing. I'll be happy to work with them. And I think one of our concerns, which we heard tonight, is it could be up to once a week. And so that's kind of a very regular basis of maybe having this, and we want to make sure that in our words, in our minds, it's done right. Thank you.
Thank you. Gail Shu.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to exchange opinions.
Yeah, please just state your name and city of
Oh,
residence.
yes. My name is Gail Xu. I'm a resident of Oasis 2 of Tempe. So I have some, I appreciate also the JP Morgan staff listing out their conditions, but I have several clarifying questions and I have a request, right? So the clarifying question is, like they mentioned that this entertainment function is for internally, right? So it's like just the clarifying question is, do they use it for profit, like for selling tickets, or like what is the targeted audience? And also, do they have a specific reason? Like, do they want to boost the business? Like, of course, it's doing good, like to the city of Tempe, so they can talk more about what is the purpose, what is it really bringing to the company, and then we can balance. For us, we are very concerned about noise. I think Don and Lisa has mentioned, and I think unless for people living in that area, you don't realize how many times the sound can be amplified over half a mile distance, right? And the second thing I want to mention is actually a request. I think it's reasonable to put a request for public hearing 1 year from now, say if we proceed with this decision tonight, because I think that's beneficial for both the residents and the company, right? Maybe things don't go as expected, it go out of control and it's become unbearable, or maybe that functional thing is not bringing the company what they expected to bring, like considering all the potential damage caused by the neighborhood. So I think that's what I want to bring for everybody to consider. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you for coming and speaking this evening. We've not received any additional comment cards. I'd ask that give the opportunity for the applicant to come up and address any comments that you heard from the public.
Hi, again, Tony Paget, living in Chandler for JP Morgan Chase. This is not a profit event space. This is internal only. And the reason is twofold why we're building this. First is we have all our events inside and because of the heat. So what we want to do is ensure or encourage our staff for their wellness to come outside, not just for an event, for their lunches, for even meetings, what have you, so they can get outside and kind of enjoy the atmosphere. If not, because of the sun bearing down, a shaded structure will help that. And also we will have events, again, those are all internal, and we have town halls, we have senior managers that come in, and we just don't have enough space internally to fit everybody. We have to broadcast it. We like to be able to have those type of events to be able to, for people to join personally, rather than see it over a video and the person's right in town or on the campus. That's basically the objective of building this structure.
Hi, David Wilson, City of Phoenix resident. So just to tack on to what Tony had said in regards to the sound, we have added those stipulations to really measure the levels of sound as it gets to the neighborhood on the context of the campus out on the periphery. So I think speaking for Tony here, we're not trying to create a space that is, an obtrusive noise and excessively loud by any means. It's a very centric, employee-driven usage here, primarily during the daytime. And so we're happy to work, with the city of Tempe and the neighborhoods to, monitor what that sound output really actually is as it gets to, the neighborhood there, and accommodate, some sort of maximum threshold that ultimately, JP Morgan Chase can monitor and keep all events and noise under that limit.
Perfect. Any other commission questions for the applicant? Commissioner Forte.
As far as the amplified sound, is there planning on being any music as far as amplified sound, or amplified sound just in the sense of people using microphones?
There will be music, but it will be anything that we have music. We're not bringing in AC/DC, for example. They're like local type of bands or whatever for a low-key type of event. We're not looking to do kind of a rock concert, though. Yeah.
Commissioner Smears, did you have a question? No. Okay. Thank you so much. I will just ask, yes, that Karen Stovall please come up one more time to address any comments. I would also ask maybe we pull up the conditions of approval just so that the residents are aware of what next steps might be.
Can you put, yeah.
Would you can start, Commissioner Tom, if you have a question for staff.
Yeah, since we have 3 residents here, is it possible in the 6 months condition that we notice them? Because you wouldn't normally, you're not normally required to give them a notice, correct, of of them coming back to us?
So because it would be another public hearing, any property owner within a 600-foot radius and any homeowners association within a quarter mile would be noticed, just like they were for
Okay,
this hearing.
and that's by the applicant, or that's by
By
staff?
the city. The
Okay.
city of Tempe does all notification for this, for a use permit public hearing.
Okay, so they'll get noticed in the general blanket notice that gets sent
If
out?
they were noticed for this hearing, they will receive notice for that hearing.
And-
That's what I can confirm. I don't know if they are within the 600-foot notification radius.
Okay.
So I can speak with them afterward and confirm that they were, and they can be added if.
Perfect.
Okay.
That gives me some comfort.
Okay.
Thank you.
So going back to what the, I don't remember what her name is, Ms. Shu, I think was the name, the request for a one-year review, we have added a 6-month review. So the condition, I'll just read it, is that the applicant shall return to the appropriate decision-making body for a review of compliance with conditions of approval within 6 months. The timing for the 6-month review period to commence shall begin after the first organized event with amplified sound and/or live music held within the outdoor space. Advise Community Development Planning Division staff when the first organized event occurs. So there will be a 6-month review required if this use permit is approved. So I just wanted to point that out. That is all.
Perfect, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted you to share. If there's no other questions, we can close the public comment period. That leaves it to commission discussion. Any commission discussion you'd like to have on the record? Commissioner Richter? Oh, Commissioner Richter. Commissioner Tom.
I'll just make a brief comment and I'll make a motion if there's no other discussion. I just want to thank the applicant and the neighbors for working together on this. I think we have conditions here that are amenable for both parties. And with that, I will make a motion to approve, what number is this? PL 250320 with the approved, or with the suggested conditions.
Second.
All right. We have a motion by Commissioner Tom, a second by Commissioner Richter. All those in favor of approval, please raise your hand. Right. Motion passes 6-0. All right. With that, we are closing in on the latter part of our agenda. Are there any commissioner member announcements? Yes, Commissioner Spears.
I will just remind everyone that this Saturday is the Fantasy of Lights Boat Parade at 6 p.m. at Tempe Town Lake.
All right. You're getting us in the holiday spirit last time and again this time. Thank you. Commissioner Forte.
On December 31st, there's actually going to be a New Year's Eve party at the Hackett House, kind of tie in with the Christmas spirit, even though it's after,
Perfect.
but it's okay.
This is our last Development Review Commission meeting for 2025, so thank you for planning out the rest of our December. Item 7B, we have city staff announcements.
We don't have any staff announcements tonight, Vice Chair Swartz. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next regularly scheduled meeting date is January 13th, 2026. And with that, we will adjourn our meeting for this evening. Thank you.